What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and today I'm going to be showing you how to actually boost your FPS in Apex Legends. A lot of you guys are playing this game's super popular right now, so I thought I'd do an FPS guide, because if you have a lower end PC, or if your PC is not too good, maybe you want to try and make it run better. Obviously when it comes to these kind of new games, you can't kind of run them if they have really good graphics. So I'm going to be showing you a few tips today. Some of these tips are going to be in game, some of them are going to be computer tips, how can you make your PC run quicker, and then we're going to kind of dive into the in-game settings. So the first thing what we want to do is you want to go to the nvidia control panel. So if you right click down here, there should be a little icon, nvidia settings and the control panel. So you just open that. This is basically the same what you can do for all other games, so if you want to try this for a different game, you can also do that too. So once you're in the nvidia control panel, you want to go to the left here and click manage 3D settings. Then what you want to do is you want to go to program settings. Now you can actually access it if the game is running, but if it's not running you might have to manually add it. So obviously if the game is running, it will come down on this drop down box. These little dots here just mean that it's basically searching for the running programs. But if Apex is open, for an example, it will come up in this box, and I think it will detect some of your games anyway. If you don't have it running, or if you haven't ran it before and nvidia hasn't detected it, what you want to do is click on this little add box. So what you do is you go to program files and then you will go to origin, and below origin there should be a folder that says origin games. So you want to click on that, you want to go on Apex, and then r5apex.exe is here. This is just basically the game. I don't know why it's called that, but that's the game exe. So if you can't find it, you want to add it manually like that, but otherwise it might actually well be on this drop down list. Now me personally, I don't actually have it on this list after checking, so I will obviously add it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You just basically click open, and then here we have loads of different settings here. So there's a few we can fiddle around with. I'd leave them on default, but I'm going to show you the settings just for the purpose of the video. My game runs pretty well, so I don't really need to do this, but for those of you who do, I'm going to be showing you all the settings. So what you want to do first is you want to go to maximum pre-rendered frames, which is down here, and it will be on use global setting, but you want to select this to 1. So power management mode needs to be on prefer maximum performance. It's self-explanatory, it just favors performance over obviously saving power, so it will probably use more power on the GPU, but it'll mean that the games have more frames. If we go down to texture filtering quality, you can also put that down to performance as well, or you can put it to high performance. We're just going to put it on performance for now. Obviously all these little things are just increasing it slightly, but collectively all these changes will give you more FPS. Vertical sync, you want to turn this off entirely. I'm pretty sure this causes like screen tearing and like all that flickering, but I'm not really too sure what it does, but you want to make sure that's turned off. Then threaded optimization, you want to turn this on, and then after you do that, everything should be good to go. And then obviously apply it, there's the apply button down there. I'm not going to personally do it because I get pretty good frames, so I don't really want to change any of the quality of anything because everything looks fine and I run it quite well. But you want to click apply down there, and then alternatively you can also change the resolution of the game as well. You can also go down here on the left which says adjust desktop size and position. Obviously what you can do here is you can change it to kind of match your game, so you have quite a few options here. I have 2 monitors because I'm running dual monitor setup, and there is one that says override scaling mode set by games and programs. Now what you want to do is you want to click that, and then you're good to go. That's all you have to do on this tab. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go off the actual nvidia side of things and we're going to jump into the more basics. This is the simple stuff, the stuff that everyone knows how to change. We're just going to dive into Apex itself, and I'm going to be showing you some menu options on there, and we're going to jump into the graphics settings. We're now in the game, guys. I have got the Twitch Prime loot up here, so as you can see we did get this awesome Pathfinder skin and some Apex stuff, so I'm going to be showing you how you can get those skins for free in the next video. But for now we're going to jump into the settings. So we're going to dive in here, click on settings, and as you can see we're going to jump right into the video settings. So this is obviously everything we're going to do after the first step, so make sure you do the nvidia steps first. So display mode, borderless window for me is great because I like to browse the web and watch things whilst I'm playing, or kind of switch between frames, especially when you've got 2 monitors or you're making videos, recording and streaming. This can be useful, but if that doesn't appeal to you, what you want to do is you want to actually set this onto full screen mode. So you just press the arrows obviously to switch the settings. So you want to set that to full screen mode, and Then the resolution, obviously you want to make sure this is your monitor's native resolution. Obviously turning down the resolution might increase performance, but you want the game to still look kind of good, so you want to make it as the resolution that your monitor is. So we have VSync, you want to just disable that. We disabled it in the nvidia settings, so you want to disable it here as well. The anti-aliasing, you can turn it off like I have, but it doesn't really increase the performance at all by turning it off. Maybe by a few pointers, but it's really not worth bothering turning it off. Like I said, I do have it off as well, but it doesn't really change things too much. Then the texture filtering, you can put it onto anisotropic 2 times. You can put it on 4 times, doesn't really change too much, but I've got it on 2 times, I would really recommend that. Then ambient occlusion quality, you want to turn it off. You can also put it on low as well if you want things to kind of look better, but I've got it fully disabled. Anything to do with shadows, just put them on low. In games, obviously shadows do greatly decrease performance, so I would recommend turning those off as well. Volumetric lighting needs to be disabled, and dynamic spot shadows should be disabled as well, so you can put them onto disabled. Then here comes the model detail. Now we kind of have to have a balance here between performance and also without making the game look too bad, because at the end of the day we do actually want the game to still look pretty decent. So we can turn the model detail and everything, effects, models, down to medium. You can put the impact marks down to low because you're not really going to see much about that, so you can put that down to low. And then obviously ragdolls we can put medium too. So you want all the models, the effects and ragdolls to be on medium. This way they'll still look half decent, but it'll increase your performance because everything on high is obviously going to put a drop on your system. Impact marks are basically just the impacts of the bullets and things, and it'll reduce the CPU load by turning it down. So now you've got the in-game settings sorted, we're going to jump into the software side of things and the Windows side of things, because there is different softwares, Chrome specifically, that are really greatly going to slow down your system. So the next one is Microsoft OneDrive. Now OneDrive is basically the cloud-based file system where you can sync all your files on Microsoft's cloud and have access to them, a little bit like Google Drive, and you can kind of do it in real time on your computer. If you enable it when you're installing Windows, then you'll have support for it. Now usually what it'll be is it'll be in the bottom in this little taskbar, and you just right click it and click disable. It'll have like a little blue cloud icon. If it's not there, or if you've already closed it, what you can also do is you can go into the task manager, and to do this obviously you press Control Shift and Delete, and you can go to the startup section here. Now under startup you should be able to find Microsoft OneDrive. Now it says disable for me, this is because I right clicked and clicked disable. If it says enable, then obviously it is already disabled, but I would recommend disabling on the startup, and that just basically means that you'll never have to close it again because you've already disabled it from actually beginning in the first place. OneDrive not really useful unless you are obviously using it to share your files, then you really don't need it running in the background. Now the next is Google Chrome. This is because basically Google Chrome saps your CPU so much. If I'm playing a game, especially a game which actually already uses the CPU primarily, having Chrome open just makes it lag even more. Now I can run games mostly on high FPS, but some of the older games that kind of use the CPU more, such as H1Z1, work really bad together with Google Chrome, because if you've got a lot of plugins like I have as well, it makes it even worse, and it just uses your CPU and just really saps your power. If you go on Task Manager and have a breakdown of all the memory of all the software that's running, usually Google Chrome's going to be taking up like 60% or something ridiculous. It's going to usually be number 1 on the list, or at least number 2 if you run the game. So what we want to do is we want to click these little 3 dots and click on settings, because we're going to change this. We're going to kind of try and optimize Chrome, or at least as best we can. So you want to click on the settings tab, and then what you want to do is you want to go to advanced. So scroll to the bottom, click advanced, and then when we get to advanced you want to scroll down, and there should be something that says use hardware acceleration when available, which should be somewhere around the bottom, which is under system. Now we want to untick this or click the button, so obviously it's disabled. And then basically what you want to do is just relaunch Chrome. So next time you launch Chrome, it'll be disabled, and when you use the web browser in game, or if it's running in the background, which Chrome sometimes does, then it should use less power. Because if we right click, it should say sometimes let Google Chrome run in the background. Obviously the Steam inventory helper is obviously one of the plugins using it in the background, and you can untick this so it doesn't run when you haven't got it open, which can also be useful as well. So the next thing you want to do is clean the temporary files folder. You can get to this by pressing the Windows key and R, which is basically the shortcut to run, and you want to type in %temp %, and what this will do is it should open up your temporary files folder. As you can see here, I have the temporary files folder here. There's just loads of random stuff. They're just files left behind and most of them are useless. Deleting them isn't really going to ruin anything. You just press delete and then it should kind of sum up how much you've got, and usually there's so many files in there that it's going to be too big to actually put in your recycling bin, so it'll tell you just to delete them all straight off. If some of them you can't delete, they may be used by certain software that's open like Discord and Streamlabs, but apart from that you really don't need most of these temp files, and deleting them is going to save you possibly gigabytes of space depending how long it has been since you've last deleted them yourself. The last two suggestions I could actually suggest, which I'm not going to be featuring on this video, is using CCleaner, which is a software to clean your internet history, temporary files and certain other stuff that's left over, clean your registry, just to kind of optimize performance. You can use that as well, that is a free tool, or you can use the premium version, and you can also use Game Booster, which is kind of something that people used to use years ago to boost game performance. And also you can disable your antiviruses, Windows Defender, Malwarebytes, things like that, and turn off the automatic scanning so it doesn't scan whilst you're in a game, or you can get an antivirus that is actually designed to actually be for playing games, so obviously when you're playing something it's not going to be scanning in the background. So that's basically all the tips I've got to actually increase performance in Apex Legends. If it boosted your FPS in any way, if you're on an old PC or it helped you, then definitely do smash a like below and click subscribe, and also check the comments in the description to enter this month's giveaway. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.